Hey everybody, welcome to Harmony Handicrafts. It's me, Lori, and I'm just playing a little game of Yarn Chicken. I'm just finishing off one of my washcloths, and that's what I have left. And I've trimmed one side, and I've got 3 more sides to go. So, what do you think? Will I make it? I've got about this much left. Well, here we go. Let's find out. Well, hello. From the beginning of this video, you saw me working on one of the dishcloths that I'm making. And you'll see throughout this particular podcast my progression in working on that to see whether or not I actually win the game of Yarn Chicken. Lots of fun to play, a little unnerving sometimes. I've come to you today, show you my works in progress and also my finished objects. So I want to show my finished objects first, and then I'll show you some of the whips I'm working on. One of these days we'll get to the UFOs, but those are tucked away, and I'll have to look for them another time and bring them out. All right, well, where to start? You know what? I think the first one I'm going to start with is the first one that I finished, and that is another one of my blue tams. You can see here. It's, some people call them berets. Some people call them tams. This is made in fingering weight sock yarn. It's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And this is in the Stroll base by Knit Picks, and this is a hand-dyed. I think I'm kind of leaning towards Ocean Waves for the color name, but I haven't really decided on it. It was a one-off skein rather, of yarn, and I'm actually thinking I might try recreating that color. I hope you can see that. It's got some hints of purple in there and different shades of blue. All right, so going with that theme, I also made a red one. This one, again, it's the superwash merino and nylon base Knit Pick Stroll, and it's in like a tam or beret style. You can wear it on the side or wear it towards the back, whichever you like. And this colorway I have not named. I did create this colorway, but I have not named it yet. So it's got some, well, all kinds of colors of red in there. It's got the deeper reds and brighter reds and the softer reds, almost a pinky color. So if you have any ideas for a name for that colorway, I think that's something that I'd like to recreate too. This was a unicorn skein or a one-off skein, and I think I would like to recreate that. So if you have an idea for a color name for me, leave it in the comments below. All right, so that's 2 hats down. Oh, and of course, another tam. Can you guess my favorite color, folks? If you've seen my other podcasts by now, you will know. I'm sorry about it blowing out. My favorite color is purple. And this one I made with the Premier DK Colors, I believe it is. It's an anti-pilling DK Colors, and this is a little bit bigger than the others. It's a lot of fun, actually. If you've got a lot of hair that you like to tuck in, there's tons of room back here for it. And it's trimmed out in gray. I really like this because they have, this colorway is they have the long sections, the big sections of color. And so it takes quite a while for it to change color. I like that. And it's uber soft, really, really nice soft. It's 100% acrylic, and it's a or DK weight. So number 3, hat number 3. You can tell I like to make hats. Okay. Hat number 4. This, I think I showed on my last podcast, is the toque I made. These are fun. They're fun to make. looks like a squash or a gourd of some sort, doesn't it? You can also roll it up, which is what I would probably do. Just roll up the rim and stick it on your head, and it will keep you very warm. I made this one out of the Premier Aurora, and I believe the colorway is called Hearthside or something like that. I can't quite remember. I got this from Aberdeen's Wool in Canada, and they're $4 a ball, so really great deal on the yarn. Not so much fun to work with, unfortunately. This yarn tended to twist back on itself into the ball, so I was constantly having to flip my work so that the yarn would untwist, and that was a little bit annoying. But the colorway is just gorgeous. Hat number 4. All right, well, I've rounded the second corner right here. 2 more sides to go, and of course I'm going to put a little loop, chain loop there to so you can hang up your dishcloth. And this is what I have left. Not very much, so we'll see what happens. Here we go. All right, and everyone's thinking all I make are hats. Not true, but hat number 5. This is the Divine hat. Some people know it as, I think, the Shells hat. Rose from Rose Likes Crochet loves this hat. She's totally addicted to it. So she has said, and I'm sure she will love the color. This is the purple. This is Premier Sweet Rolls in, I believe the colorway is grape something. Can't remember. I know I'm so prepared today. But you know what? I have it right here. I have the rest of it right here. Grape Swirl. Okay, it wasn't that far off. Grape Swirl. So we shall model it for you. Here it is. They fit really nice. They're very comfortable. And they fit nice and snug on the head, not too tight. I really like it. I like the way that this the stripes happen on this particular yarn. Starts out dark and goes light, and then you've got a strip of color here, and it goes light again, and then into the dark again. All right, hat, what did I say? Hat number 5. Okay, that's it for the hats for today. I do a lot more than hats. No, I like doing hats. I think anyone who crochets or knits likes to do hats because they're quick and easy, and they're kind of like yarn candy in the way that we can put them together quickly and have something that will instantly gratify our need to complete a project. So on the other end of that spectrum, last year I started a temperature blanket. Yeah, I know. For those of you who understand or know or have been there about the temperature blankets, you're going, oh, why did you do that? Well, because I never had, and I really wanted to have that experience. I wanted to know what it was like to, dedicate myself every day to a project for a whole year, and also to see what it would turn out like. I live in British Columbia. It's very mild climate. We're a temperate rainforest here, so not a lot of huge swings in, like we don't get -30, and we don't get, well, this year we got +40, but that was extremely rare. We get fairly mild climate, so I wanted to see what it looked like in color. So for the reveal, sorry about the rocking here. I'm just going to pull my camera back a bit, and I will show you my temperature blanket. We'll start with this part at the bottom. Now I used a rainbow palette, and I used 8 colors. Well, I actually only used 7 because the 8th color didn't actually happen last year in 2020. I will explain. So we start with the dark purples, And that was temperatures from 1 to 5 degrees centigrade. Anything from 0 and below was white. We had 3 days of that. When you got into the lighter purples, it was from 6 to 10 centigrade. Blue was 11 to 4 or 11 to 15. Green was 16 to 20. You kind of get in the drift of this as we go up. And you might see a kind of a seam right through the middle. This is a 4-weight yarn. It's paint box yarns. They're Aran weight. I absolutely love this acrylic yarn. And it's pretty thick, like it works up pretty big. I was using a size 6mm hook. So it turned out, if I had done 1 row per day, this blanket would have been about 9 feet long. So I thought that was a little excessive. So what I decided to do was do a half row per day. And there were 366 days in the year. So that worked out really well. And as we go, we get to the middle of the year. Now we're in the yellows, so that's in the low 20s. And then we get up into August, July, August, where we got something over 25 degrees, but not over 30. We never hit over 30 degrees where I am at noon. I always took the temperature at noon in the year 2020. This year, totally different. This is last year's blanket. And so we go back down September, October, November, December. So we get back into the 1 to 5 centigrade range here by the end of the year. So that is my blanket. It is massive, as you can probably see. It is massive. It's probably 4.5 feet by 4 feet, maybe a little bit bigger, maybe close to 5 feet tall. Really snugly warm. And you're saying to yourself, 2020 ended 9 months ago. Well, yeah, this took a year and 9 months to make. I finished this at the end of September, and wow, I just basically had about 4 months left on it to do, and I just ripped right through it and got it done. I wanted it out of my whip stash. I wanted it out of, my site. I was done with it. I now understand why people are reticent to do temperature blankets, because they are they're fun at first, and then it starts feeling like a bit of an albatross around your neck. So at least that was my experience. I'm glad I did it once. Will I ever do it again? Probably not. But I did enjoy the experience. Well, at least for the first little while. Okay, let's pull you back. Sorry about the wiggle. All right, so that was my 6th finished object. I have been busy. Okay. My 7th finished, well, I don't know that this is a finished object. I think we're just going to wait, because I think that's still kind of a whip. I'll explain later. I do have some finished objects. Here we go. I've been working again on dishcloths. I've got some dishcloths here. And I finished 3 of them, and I am still playing yarn chicken with the 4th, so that's been kind of fun. Stick around to the end of the video, because you will see whether or not I win. Okay, so this is, I ordered this cotton. It's 100% cotton. I got it from Yarn Canada. And Yarn Canada is based here in the lower mainland of British Columbia. And for all of you Canadians, fantastic place to order from, because their delivery, I can't remember, I think it's $6 or $7 flat rate for delivery, and really fast. Like, I think I waited 4 days for a shipment, and in Canada, that's lightning fast. So no, I think the last one was like 2 days. Like, it was really, really quick. I put my order in, and with a couple of days I got it. So, but like I say, they're about 10 minutes from my house, so they're not very far from where I am. Still pretty impressive as far as I'm concerned. So that is 100% cotton, and these were the mill ends. They're sort of like mystery bags, but they're mill ends. They don't tell you exactly the colorway you get, but you get to choose in what color family you want. So if you wanted blues, they would you would just say, I want something in the blue family, and they would give you blue, some kind of blue, whether it was a variegated or a solid, light or dark. You didn't really know. White, you always get white. This one I think was called Country something or other, Country Meadow or something, and that's what I got. And I was actually quite pleased because I ordered this one. I ordered the blue, and I got a pale blue, which is really pretty, coordinates quite nicely with this one. And I also got the white, which of course goes with absolutely everything. So I'm making some dishcloths, and I always put loops on them because some people like to hang them, and yeah, it's just nice to have something to hang on. So I got 3 of those, and possibly 4, depending on whether or not I win Yarn Chicken. Again, stick to the end. Before I show you my whips, I just want to remind you to subscribe if you like what you see, all the content on my channel. Just hit the subscribe, big red subscribe button below, and the like button as well, because apparently that does something with the algorithms. I haven't really researched that very much, but I'm just taking the knowledge that I have from watching millions of YouTube videos. So hit the like button, and if you have a comment, please make sure that it's kind, that it's positive, and if you have some constructive criticism, I'm very happy to take that. And let's go on to the whips. So this appears to be a finished object, but it really needs to have one more thing added to it. This is, it starts out as a Rowana. You probably see it here, but I close up the sides and put little sleeves, like quite wide sleeves on it. And it acts more like a really, really comfy, cozy cardigan or a house coat. I use the one I have as a house coat. And you can see I just double crocheted that, and then I do the crab stitch or the reverse single crochet on the edges there. And it's quite long. It goes past the hips, about halfway down the thigh, and it's really snugly cozy. This yarn, let me grab the yarn ball for that. This is an ice yarn. I ordered this a couple of years ago, and it's called Magic Light. It's a 3-weight yarn. Let me show you it there. That is a gorgeous colorway. And I couldn't even tell you what colorway that is. I don't have the bag here. It's 100% acrylic. It's a DK or 3-weight. 100 grams is 360 meters. And they call for a 4 to 4.5 millimeter knitting needle. I used a size 5 crochet hook, which gives a nice, gives a bit of a drape. It's not too stiff. I find with this, if you, once you finish your garment and you wash and dry it, it softens right up, and it is so dreamy to wear. It's a little, it's not rough, but what I find is that as I'm working with it, I kind of have to clean my needle. I have to polish my needle, my crochet hook. I have to polish my crochet hook so that it slides better. So I think there must be some kind of residue or something on the yarn that makes that happen, that makes the yarn stick on my hook. So that makes that squeaky sound sometimes. But I just polish my hook real quick on my shirt and keep going. Anyways, that's what I made. What I made the Rowana, or the robe or cardigan out of. I am not quite finished it. I still want to put a belt on it. So the recipient has requested a belt. So that goes into the whip pile to finish up. All right. Let's see how I'm doing with Yarn Chicken. All right, just rounded the 3rd corner here, or just rounding the 3rd corner of the game of Yarn Chicken. Let's see what we've got left. We've got one more row to do, and about this much. I think I'm going to be okay. Stay tuned. Wow, I'm almost there. I'm almost finished, eh? Do you think I'm going to win? Oh, I hope I do. Okay, here is my second whip that's on the go. And I showed you the hat that I complete. I'm just going to put that on my head for convenience. I'm now working on a cowl. Slip that right over. It's a cowl to match. It's I don't follow a pattern for it. I just kind of took whatever was happening in here and put it into here. And it works really well with a cowl. I've never actually tried it with making a scarf, but I know with the cowl it works really well because it works good in the round. Not quite sure who does this pattern. If I can find it, I will link it below. I just go from memory now. Once I do like 2 or 3 of something, it's in my head. And so that's my second whip. And I have one more whip right behind me here. I have shown you pretty much nothing but crochet for now the third episode of Harmony Handicrafts. So I decided that I would take one of my UFOs out of storage and promote it to the whip yard and show you some knitting. I know. How many of you actually know what kind of needles these are? Because I don't see people using them a lot anymore. They're by Arrow. You see that? Arrow. And they're 3 3/4 millimeter. I've had these for, oh my gosh, if I tell you, it might give away my age. So I've had them for decades. I really love these needles. They're just a steel needle. It's not a sharp point. It's a bit blunt, but it works really well for me. And I see most knitters now use don't you love it when words just completely leave your mind? The interchangeable needles with the cables, right? A lot of knitters use that now because they're really flexible and they're easy to store your work, and they're just easy to use. But I do like using straight needles. I also like using DPNs over interchangeable needles, cable needles, just because I just find them easier to work with. This is what I'm working on. And you thought the temperature blanket took me a long time. Well, I can't even tell you when I started this. This is a few years ago, I think. And I think it's called the fan stitch. You do some yarn overs here and some knit 2 togethers here, and then the other rows are just knit and purl. And it makes this beautiful fan stitch. And I think this is going to end up being a really pretty shawl, like a rectangular shawl. And I'll show you the yarn that I used. This also is ice yarn. I think this is from the first time I ever ordered from ice yarn, because I went, of course, you go to the clearance or the sales, right? And you see what's there and you go, oh, this is Angora and it's really, really cheap. Oh my gosh. And then you get it and you're like, this is not anything like what I thought it was going to be. But I'm actually kind of enjoying working with it. Let's see. What do they call this one? Here we go. Angora Elite. This is, they say it's a 2 fine, and I think the reason they say it's a 2 fine is because of the halo that you get here with the Angora. This I would even call almost a lace weight. Like it's between a super fine and a lace weight. Yeah, 1 for sure. But this is, I wouldn't call this a 2. Here, I'll show you here. And the colors are like these beautiful creams, grays, like light gray to brown to that really beautiful chocolate brown there. Let's see. Okay, so 100 grams gets you 550 meters, which is why I would never call this a 2 weight. It's 20% Angora, 20% wool, and 60% premium acrylic. I don't know if they even sell this anymore. It's been a few years that I've had it, and I think you have to buy them in packs, and I think I got 4 in a pack. This is my second ball, and you see how much one ball, that's one ball. It goes a long way. So I'm looking forward to seeing the finished result. I'm probably not going to do more than 2 balls because it takes forever. And knitting these days has caused me some pain in my wrist. So I try to just do a little at a time and then put it down. But that's it for whips. Let's see what's happened with my yarn chicken. All right, I finished my washcloth, my dishcloth, and I put my loop on and I'm cast it off here. And how much yarn does she have left? All right, well, let's snip and find out. There we go. And this is what I had left. So actually quite a bit more than I thought I was going to have. Probably a couple of grams there. Right. Now that's what I would call a little scrap ball. And I will probably, don't know what I'm going to use that for, but I do have a lot more of this particular colorway. So I probably will use that in case I play yarn chicken all over again with another ball. So thanks for watching.